Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome to the final part of the Sonic 3D Blast commentary. And we have a surprisingly intense musical track for this point in Sonic 3D Blast, but then again, Panic Puppet is the final stage in the game, with a bit of an annoying switch gimmick that's a bit of a pain in the butt to figure out. But I don't know, still a pretty fun level, and it does change things up quite significantly. Well, sort of. For one thing, enemies no longer contain flickies, because I guess the in-story explanation is that since you're getting closer to Eggman's base, didn't quite have time to put them in enemies, so what's powering them? I guess maybe the Chaos Drives from Sonic Adventure 2? But whatever, now you have to get the flickies out of these capsules, and in Act 2, you don't even have to get the flickies at all. They've all been rescued, so now we're coming for him. Eggman better get his boss machine ready, because Sonic is gonna kick his ass. But yeah, I will admit though, I do quite like Panic Puppet. Like, I mean, it is pretty much just Gene Gadget Mark II, but I don't know. There's a lot more to enjoy beside the finicky switch gimmick. Well, okay, except for the music when it cuts out with the invincibility theme. That has no purpose because these segments are automated, so buggery McGee. And again, you need to use those switches so that you can pretty much flip-flop the conveyor belts to where you need to go. Well, not that it really matters now, because we are through. We're through with this. Yeah, I guess there is no Tails and Knuckles bonuses in this level. Well, I mean, it's pretty much your final stage anyway. I mean, again, as I mentioned beforehand with the whole Sonic and Knuckles influence, yeah, depending on whether or not you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you'll either advance on to the true final boss, or you'll pretty much get like a... I think it's supposed to be like a cutscene of Eggman, who pretty much just holds all the Chaos Emeralds and goes, "Brew ha 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 ha." From the laugh that I think they reused from Sonic CD. But, yeah. Act 2, actually, this is, well, again, last you're gonna be seeing of the Mega Drive version, so breathe it in. But, yeah, really love the music for this stage. Really cool. Act 1 in the Mega Drive version actually reuses the Twinkle Park theme song that you heard during the game's introduction, so yeah. But again, since you have no animals to collect, it's pretty much race to the end. And again, this... Again, it does bring up a bit of an... a bit of an issue with the entire game, frankly, although, first of all, a giant Eggman statue. Thankfully we don't have to go up his ass. But again, it does bring up a bit of an issue, as I've been talking about time and time again. Like, I mean, you're pretty much racing all throughout the stages, but again, you don't get that sense of speed, because again, I mean, not only would you not be able to see what's in front of you, but at the same time, you're also having to make sure that you're not getting hit by enemies, or, you know, getting attacked by hazards. So again, the only speed you get when just running from place to place is just, well, nothing really. So again, it's more like Sonic's leisurely jog, and again, like, it's not bad as a game. I will say that to my dying breath that Sonic 3D Blast is okay, it's fine. It just doesn't carry the excitement that a lot of people expect out of the series, and... Again, like, I mean, that's not bad when you're playing like a stage or two, or a stage per night, as I was doing when I was recording this, but... It does come to a bit of a point of contention when keeping your interest for like a lengthy play session, and... Like, I mean, I do like a lot of the stages that we come up to later in the game, but the problem is getting there is just a bit of an exercise in frustration when you have to complete, you know, Rusty Ruin Zone, you gotta go through Green Grove, then you gotta go through the fucking Happy Meal Zone, only to eventually get to some of the good stuff. And also platforming, because that's fun in this game, which kind of fucks with your eyes and perspective. But I mean, at least you have good music, so it's... eh? That's really the best way to describe 3D Blast, it's just kind of eh. Except when you do that, because there is a gap between the platform and the edge surface, which is very freaking annoying. Especially when you fall off like that. The hell on earth? So yeah, this is pretty much the primary reason why they didn't involve much, if any, platforming in 3D Blast, because more stuff like this, especially if they incorporated bottomless pits, would have been, well, aggravating. So, like, I mean, Traveler's Tales did know what they were doing to reduce player frustration, but at the same time, though, it's, you know, just the part of the experiment that didn't really work out too well. But again, we are pretty much right at the end anyway, so, goodbye, theme song. I love you very much, and I shall miss you. And I'm a pussy because I'm scared of the octopusy spider. Oh yeah, this is pretty much it. So, what better way to end a level than to go up Eggman's nose? Because why not? We're gonna find Green Sonic. And again, I want to remind you, if you didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds at this point, this is pretty much where you'd be getting, well, your final boss fight. Panic Puppet Zone Act 3. Pretty much the 3-phase boss fight with, well, first of all, the hammer slam thing. Did they fire out balls on this one? Oh, that might be the stage 3. That sounded completely wrong out of context, but whatever. Again, just lead the arms to where you need to go, then just hit the flashing lights on the side. Oh, they do shoot out the balls. Oh, I was thinking of another one. I was thinking of the thing from the one thing, right? Because my tongue is loose lips. But yeah, you basically hit it until you see the smoky pattern, and then just pretty much go on to face the other one. Again, similar to most of the boss fights in the game, don't use up all your rings at once if you happen to be a bit loosey-goosey with some of these controls, because, well, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Although, at the very least, unlike other parts of the game, you will be hearing the first variant of the Eggman boss theme in all its glory. Especially with this part right here. I don't know. It's an alright boss theme, I just prefer the other one, to be honest. But again, like, I mean, this boss fight can be a little bit tedious. Mainly just for this phase, though. The other two are a bit okay-ish, but in terms of, like, Sonic Final bosses going, this one's just... Just really. I mean, as I said, as a statement for the entire game, to be honest. Yeah, this one shoots out the fire snakes, so again, try not... Again, like, I mean, the perspective does fuck with you a little bit in this one, but, I don't know. Just, try and lead the fire snakes away from the parts where you need to hit, and, Bob's your uncle, really. Again, this is part of the reason why I said, like, conserve your ring energy, because otherwise you are going to be peppered. Although I don't know if I brought this up beforehand, but I do believe in the 2017 Director's Cut by John Burton that you do actually get to unlock Super Sonic. Not really too sure how it changes things, although you probably wouldn't get to use them here anyway, so again, that probably wouldn't be a key to easy boss fights. Well, I mean, unless you possibly use, like, a debug code or something for it, maybe, but I don't know. It's, I don't really feel particularly influenced to check it out, because it'll probably be the last time, if any, unless I happen to be bored, that I'll probably end up playing 3D Blast to completion. I don't know, this is just like a commentary proof of purchase, really, so bugger it. Come on. You're only delaying the inevitable. Okay, final phase. This one will pretty much be where he shoots out a bunch of power balls and, basically just stay in one corner of the room, jump up a little bit, and just hit him when the light flashes. The idiot light. But this is the final phase. He ain't got no more floors. So he's gonna have to get ready. I mean, I suppose it is meant to fake you out into being the semi-final boss before the true one, but even still, like, I mean, this is just, I suppose if I could comment on anything about 3D Blast is that the boss difficulty is very, sporadic. Like, I mean, I think the Bongo 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 He Don't Want to Leave the Congo boss fight from Happy Meal Zone is far more, like, deadly than this thing. I mean, I say that as I get hit a fair amount more than I probably should in this boss fight, but I mean, even still. It's, weird, to be honest. Well, then again, the final boss in and of itself isn't exactly, very impressive either, but I don't know. You'll see what I mean when we get there, although one thing the Mega Drive version does have before we leave it for good, that the Saturn version doesn't, is actually a transitionary phase to the final boss fight, because in the Saturn version you pretty much go from this, right over to this, whereas the Mega Drive version actually gives you a sort of cutscene in still frame. And then this thing for some reason where Sonic takes his Jolly Ranchers and goes home. You do get this nice graphic, and now we have the thumbnail image. Oh yeah. Whereas in the Saturn version, you pretty much just teleport right here. By the way, there is a reason why I'm showing off the Saturn version for this here, and that's because in the Mega Drive version, I guess since they intended it to be inside the Eggman robot thing, yeah, I guess maybe it was meant to be like a virtual world, but there was nothing but like a black screen, which was boring as fuck. Whereas this one actually has like, you know, metal machinery and looks like an actual arena. But yeah, this boss fight really isn't much of an improvement over the last one, really. Like, I mean, it has some similar attacks, like with the Fire Snake and all that. And, you know, laser beams and whatever else, but again, it's really just wait for Eggman to do his attacks, wait until he moves forward a little bit, pip him, move on to the next phase, and you're basically doing 2 run-throughs of that. I was initially gonna actually do something where, like, I'd do the first phase as Mega Drive Sonic, and then I'd do the last one as the Saturn version, but, yeah, fuck it. Can't be arsed. It's a bit of a snooze, to be perfectly honest. Like, I mean, it's not bad in terms of game design, it's just kind of like a waiting game, and again, if you happen to get hit, or, you know, like, I mean, if you miss your chance to hit him, then it's an exercise in frustration, to be honest. Again, the phases themselves aren't bad. I guess maybe I just kind of wish that they maybe had, like, some different attacks for the second phase. You know, to at least keep the players a little bit more engaged with what they have to do, and at least make, at the very least, the viewing experience a little bit more interesting. Like, I mean, he does have different attacks depending on the 6 phases, really, so again, like, it's not as if you're missing too much, or like they didn't put any effort into the final boss itself, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it just leaves you wanting, for the lack of a better phrase. Look at him as Eggman shoots out tonight's winning numbers. 1, 3, 3, 7. Also, I swear to God, that looks like a giant, like, seal snowball thing. I don't know. Oh, by the way, listen to these fucking stock-ass sound effects of the laser beams. I swear to God, I used to hear those exact same sound effects out of, like, some, like, Toy Story Buzz Lightyear edutainment game I used to own as a kid. I don't know. I mean, you get pretty much most of this shit out of, like, a fucking sound library that you could buy in stores, or nowadays, I guess you could just download from the internet. I know I'm not really talking about the game that much, but again, you've seen pretty much everything. I'm just panning for time, to be honest. I mean, they do reuse some of the sound effects from, like, Sonic and Knuckles, but... eh. I gotta wonder, actually, what exactly they could have done. They could have easily had a Supersonic boss, although, like, how they would have done it, I guess, probably would have been anyone's guess. I mean, I think games like, Sonic Rush, or I think even some of the Advanced games, I think it might have been Advanced 2, had, like, a chasing Supersonic boss fight akin to Doomsday Zone. And I mean, really, out of all the things of Sonic and Knuckles they could have copied, why don't they do that? I don't know, I'm just... And shoop! Bonk. I actually have no idea why he decides to go in for the hit there. I guess maybe he intends to nudge Sonic. Maybe to knock him off the platform, even though there are no bottomless pits, because if there were, I would have been pissed. Yeah, I'd say the missile phase is probably the easiest to avoid, really. By the way, like, I mean, there is actually a timer on those platforms that come up intermittently, so again, I don't know if you miss them, you have to do the phase again, or if they just come back, but, yeah, something for a future playthrough, I suppose, if I can be asked after all these years. I mean, like, considering the fact that it took me about, like, 7 years to get back to Sonic 3D Blast from when I did the review to now, who knows when I'll ever play it again. But regardless, Eggman is destroyed, and yep, that's right, Sonic died and he's going to heaven. I can't believe Sonic's fucking dead. He sees the light. But no, the Flickies activated a ring for him to transport himself back to the, well, island, and now he sees his friends go. There is actually a bit of dialogue in the Mega Drive version, but it's basically them saying, thanks for saving us, Sonic, and going, no worries, Eggman can't hurt my friends. Fiddle-dee-dee. Buy the toys, kids. The 3D model of Sonic going, whoopee. And that's pretty much the end of the game. With a beautiful ending theme, actually. The Mega Drive version has a boring closing credits theme that's kind of a bit pish. But this one we actually have You're My Hero by... I gotta remember not to confuse this with the Sonic R woman. Debbie Morris, I think, is the singer here. It's actually a really beautiful theme song. Not quite in the realm of Sonic as I would have liked, I guess, but... I don't know. Both in terms of lyrical content, it's really sweet. Out so wrong. Okay, I'm not gonna sing because that would ruin my masculinity. But I suppose if I could talk about Sonic 3D Blast as a game... What more can I really say, to be honest, that I haven't already said? It's an okay game, it's competently programmed, it's relatively competent save for a few things here and there, like a bit of dick enemy placement, sporadic boss difficulty, and special stages being pish easy in the Mega Drive version, being done pretty well in the Saturn version. And I don't know, Sonic 3D Blast, again, it's a decent game. It's included in these collections for a reason, and again, like, I mean, if you play it, you will at least have a decent time with it. I just don't recommend trying to marathon run it, because you'll find yourself kind of glazing over it after a time, and so all I can really recommend is, again, if you plan on playing this one, just play it like a level per session, and that'd be that. Again, it's not the best Sonic game around, but at the same time, it's also not the worst. You could do far worse than 3D Blast, and again, it's alright. It's got some pretty kickin' music for both versions if you want to go for them, and even though they don't release the Saturn version anywhere else, I still think it's worth playing. I mean, it does have lengthy load times, but again, I think it more than makes up for that with the graphical capabilities of special stages. I don't know. It's a well put together game. I commend Traveler's Tales for doing their best, especially given the circumstances of the time. But I mean, really, there's not much else you can really do. But to talk about future commentaries, well, this is actually going to be the last one that I record for a while now, because I have a few other duties that I have to take care of in terms of my channel, but yeah, in terms of future Sonic commentaries, I have 2 other Sonic ones coming up later this year, but you'll find out what those are later. But they both have 2 in their title, so that narrows it down. But as for any other commentaries, coming around May of this year, you're going to be seeing Kingdom Hearts 2, which I really have to get a shake on recording again. But apart from that, I'm mainly just going to be focusing on reviews at this point. Mainly in terms of a few other things I have to do here and there, but you'll see all that a bit later. So on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal. And well, I hope you enjoyed the Sonic 3D Blast commentary. Probably not the Sonic game you wanted to see, but the game worth visiting nonetheless, in spite of my snarky comments about its quality. So catch you dudes and dudettes next time, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.